Hey guys, what is going on? It is xckj here today. As you guys can see, the lights in my room are still out. I'm going to be working on fixing this tomorrow. I kind of like the camera though. I think it's not a bad aesthetic, right? You know, we got the tank behind us, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we are today's video is going to be about drafting teams. As you see here, we got the tier maker up. We're just going to be going through some drafting. We got first, second, third, fourth, fifth pick and bans. I have a really awesome video planned today. So we are doing an 800 crystal giveaway at 3,000 subscribers. So make sure that you are subscribed. That's all you have to do in order to be part of the giveaway. I can see all my subscribers. I'm just going to be putting in a random generator, and we're going to be giving away 800 crystals to one subscriber. So make sure that you're subscribed. Comment down below that you did subscribe. As I said, today's video is going to be drafting a good team. This is going to be bans for people who really aren't in Masters. I think Master players have a little bit different strategy when banning, but this is just going to be for that your average player trying to grind out rank, trying to hit Diamond, maybe even they are trying to get into Masters. This is going to be a great way for them to just kind of figure out exactly how they want to draft teams. I think we're going to be talking more about like principles of drafting, not really about like what's meta right now, but we are going to start out talking about the meta, and then we're going to move into some principles of drafting, things that you can be using. If it's like 2021 right now in December, this video will still be applicable to you, I think. Especially since, January is going to be a new format. So if I make a video about all the stuff in the format now, then it's going to change in a month. So this is going to be good for forever. But we are going to start out right now. The bans that I'm thinking are the best bans to be doing are Inara, Vivian, Andro, and Xin. Those are the 4 champions that I'm looking at taking out of a lot of my games. Other people, maybe Strix, maybe Victor, and I think that maybe IO sometimes, depending on, but it really all depends. Never really IO too much, but every once in a blue moon, I'll I'll ban an IO when I'm just feeling it for some reason. Also, guys, at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you like the most cheese draft that you could possibly do at the end of the video if you are first pick. So make sure to watch all the way to the end there. I know I got you guys with one of those end of the video things, but this is actually something that I really love to do, and I can't drop it in the beginning, man. It's too good to drop in the beginning. Anyway, so how to approach picking. First off, you want to have a main role, whether you're going to be playing damage, off tank, point tank, healer, flank. Have a main role. Learn how to play that main role. Then know yourself. Know if you're actually really good at that role or if you just think you're good at that role. So if you're Eevee or Mave one trick and you just want to insta-lock Mave and Eevee in every single one of your ranked games, that's not going to be helpful. But if you actually are amazing at Eevee and Mave, know yourself. Be true to yourself. Like, know, okay, I'm actually really good with these champions, or I just think I'm really good at these champions. It takes some self-reflecting, but I know you guys can do it. I know you guys can do it. You're watching this video because you want to improve. Moving on, you got to know your comps. This is all going to tie together at the end. Knowing your comps. So what exactly does that mean, know the comps? You got to know what works, right? There's a lot of stuff that is weird, but it still can work. For instance, double off tank, damage, 2 healers. Yeah, it can work. As long as everybody is playing a champion that they are really great at, that's not too weird. You're going to be able to win a lot of fights and cap the point in a different way, not a very normal way, but I think the team can still work really well. So know some comps that can still work where everybody on your team is playing in main roles. And I'm going to explain more about why I think that is the better way to draft teams rather than be like, all right, here's what we need. We need a point tank, we need an off tank, we need a damage, we need a flank, and we need a healer. Because that personally, even though that's like your typical, this is what we want in our Paladins games, that's not even typically what I think is the best. I typically think I like point tank, off tank, double healer, point tank, off tank, double damage, and a healer. I think that flanks are kind of a little bit just not as strong as they were. Now, that's not for every single flank, of course. There are some good flanks in the game, and there's some people who play flanks really good. But personally, for me, I just think that 2 damages are better than a damage and a flank. I see a lot of flanks just inting, dying, doing 1v1s, dying to 1v1s, and so that's a reason why I think that. But what are the best team comps? As I said, point tank, off tank, 2 damage, and a healer is the best. The second best team comp that you can be playing is 1 point tank, 2 damage, and 2 healers. I really love 2 healer meta because I really feel like in a lot of situations that you're in, the healer dies, the healer ends up getting flanked by the off tank or the flank or the damage, somebody ends up killing the healer, and then your entire team is like, shoot man, we got no more sustain, and they just start dropping like flies. So the double healer can really fix that issue where, it's hard when your entire team is relying on one single person to keep the entire team alive. I mean, you're putting a lot of faith in that one guy. So I do like the double healer aspect on things. But as I said before, you can even be playing like off tank, 2 off tanks, a damage, and 2 healers, or a point tank, 3 damages, and a healer. As long as everybody on your team is in a role that they are super, super comfortable on and they feel like they're playing well, or that they can play well on, I really think that is the route to take. As long as it's not like, bro, let's go 5 damage. Bro, we don't need a healer. Screw the healer, man. We don't need any tank. Nah, don't do that kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying. I think you guys get the idea. So let's look at some teams that I think are amazing in the draft. We'll just do some drafting right now. I'll do some examples on the tier list, and then we will jump in to some other stuff. So right now, personally, I think Inara is really, really strong. So first pick, if we are first pick, I'm definitely going to be grabbing Inara, or if I'm not grabbing Inara, I'm going to be banning Inara. Now, why is it that I like Inara and Vivian so much right now? I think they're easy to play. They're super easy to play. I know if you are a bad player and you want to get into Masters, just play nothing but Inara. I'm not even joking. She's just super good right now. I don't know if it'll be like that forever. It kind of feels like it has been since I started playing Paladins seriously, like every day, always. 2, maybe 3 years ago now it even has been. I think it's been 2.5 years. I've been playing this game like crazy. Inara has been good the entire time, so she is a champion that you just want to get good on, and honestly, she's just super good. So first pick, you're going to be grabbing Inara, because anybody on your team can be playing Inara. Then you're either looking at what is the other team not picked yet. So let's say that they had second pick, right? So they got to pick 2 champions. Let's say that they picked Atlas, so they grabbed an off tank for their first pick, and then they grabbed, I don't know, Grover or something like that, right? So now it's your team's turn to pick. You guys get 2 picks. So the 2 things that you're not going to want to grab is if you asked your team, hey, what do you guys want? And then some people said, oh, I want this healer, or I want this off tank. You're going to be like, all right, you guys can grab them, but I think that those are safe. I don't have to pick them anymore. So you're going to be saying like, all right, well, I kind of want to play Amani, and we'll also grab a Tiberius, right? Now the other team gets to pick. They pick their 2 damages or whatever they end up picking with their point tank. Doesn't even matter at this point because we secured pretty much everything. Everything has been secured. This is like a full. You see how this is like a full comp right here? Is because so now we can build a full comp as well. So we go down. Let's get rid of these 2, so that way you guys can just see what I think is like personally a good team. We can grab like Furia, and then we'll grab. I really like Ashe a lot. Some of the best team comps that I possibly think you can have right now in the game probably would be. Healers are rough. I really personally don't play healer enough to know what I think is like amazing for healers. Personally, I really like getting healed by IO, and I like getting healed by Corvus, and Furia can be pretty good too. So let's just say Corvus, right? We'll say Corvus, Ashe, who's good damages, Vivian. We'll get rid of this, and let's get somebody a little bit bursty. Maybe Androxus. This team comp right here, however you guys end up getting to this is like what I would say would be a super, super solid team comp. Now, if you wanted to switch some stuff around here is a good example for like a second team comp where you don't play an off tank. I'm saying you're at an IO for that second healer right here because IO provides a pseudo tank effect. Another champion that is pretty good at playing as a secondary healer. Other good secondary healers would be like Grok and Grover. I think that these 3 champions are really good if you don't have an off tank. Grover has damage reduction in his build as long as you're playing in the cards. Did I say Grover? Yeah, I meant to say Grover if I didn't. Grok has a ton of damage that he can do, and his ult is really great for pushes. And IO has a built-in another champion just right there. So that's good. You can play like Damage Ying too for another healer. I think that these are all solid picks for that second healer build or team comp. I don't know if I would play anybody else here per se. I guess you could do Pip. Pip's got a pretty good. You could play really anybody, but you want to kind of play somebody that can play a little bit as a damage too, or a little bit as an off tank. Somebody that can stand on the point and cap. Somebody that can like hold off lanes, things like that. Anyway, let's move on to the next part. I don't want to ramble on about this too much. So, like I said, we'll go back. Play what you're best at and allow your team to play what they are best at as long as it is filling its role. That is like one thing that I super want to stress. So now there's just some 3 simple tips. If you follow these 3 simple tips, you're going to be having much better drafting, and I think your games, you're going to have a lot more success in ranked. So what are these 3 tips? First, ask the team what they want. When you go in, say, hey guys, what does everybody want to play? And then get an idea in your own head. You don't have to tell this to your team. Get an idea in your head. You're like, all right, so I want to be playing damage. They said they want to play this, so we're probably going to have 2 healers, this, and this, right? And maybe it's even like super weird, but you're like, oh, that's what everybody's mains are? It's what they're going to be best at playing. You're still going to be able to win doing this. Because I understand, the reason why I'm saying this is because I understand that not every single one of my viewers has the time to like learn. I used to say, hey guys, what you want to do is you want to learn 3 champions in every single role, get really good at those 3 champions, and then bam, you're set. You can have a ideal team on every single time, but that's just not realistic to expect from like everybody who plays this game. And I was like, I came to realize that. I'm like, okay, so what's a better approach at this? It's allowing players to play what they are best at and still having a team that's not like super crazy. And that's a cool thing about Paladins that Overwatch and other hero shooters just don't have. It's like you can do all these crazy team comps and it actually works, especially in like platinum, diamond, gold, silver. It's just so cool. So first thing you want to do, ask your team what they want. Let's throw it up as a little numbers. That's the first thing you want to do. Second thing you want to do, if an enemy team locks, say, a healer first or a damage first, try and grab something other than the healer or damage role, so that way you know that, okay, they already picked a healer, so the healer is going to be open. They already picked a point tank, so the point tank spot's going to be open. All that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? You want to try to do something along those lines. That way you are able to guarantee that everybody gets the champions they want better, because it is drafting and we're trying to get the best champs here. Come on. Third thing to do is communicate with the team. And when I say communicate with the team, that's asking them what they want. It's very much like the first, but the only difference is here, you can be encouraging your team in the draft pick so many times, guys. So many times. I actually, you know what? A better way to do the third point is just do not be negative in the draft. I see way too often people saying, oh, they insta-locked Ying, GG, a game over. I'll see you guys in the next one. Somebody dodged, nobody dodges, and they're complaining the whole game. Now you got bad mojo in your game, dude. You don't want that. You don't want that, man. So anyway, with that being said, ask team what they want, pick something other than what's already picked, and communicate with the team. Don't be negative. That's really my 3 tips. Now, for the last thing that I said that I was going to do, the most cheese thing you could possibly do. And the reason why you want to do this is, how many point tanks are there in the game right now? Viable point tanks. I'll let you think about it for 1 second. All right, you're done thinking about it. Inara, Barrack, Terminus. 3 point tanks. Your first pick. How many bans do you get? 2. And then your first pick. So you get 1 champion to pick. That means you can ban 2 point tanks and play a point tank. And then the other team has to play a subpar point tank. So who are these point tanks? We are going to be looking at Terminus. We're going to be looking at Barrack. We're going to be looking at, where are you at? Inara, wherever the heck I put her. Here she is. Inara, right? So you're like, I M, and let's say you're a Barrack main, right? So what you do is you ban Terminus, you ban Inara, and then first pick, lock in Barrack. This only works if you are playing first pick. If you're going second and the other team knows what you're doing, it's a little bit more risky. You can try to do it, but it probably won't work out in your favor if the enemy team like is focusing on what's going on. Because now you're playing Barrack, right? And you just force the other team to play Point Tank Nando, Point Tank Makoa, Point Tank Ash, just things that are not that great. Point Tank Atlas, something like that. Fernando loses to Wrecker. Like all these other champions are just not as good point tanks. But you can do this in any order. So whichever point tank you want to play, you ban the other two, you pick the one, bam. You already have a mismatch for the point tanks right there. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like and sub to the channel. It's something crazy, like 86% of you guys aren't subbed that are watching this video, so that's just insane. Please leave a sub. I appreciate it a ton. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.